howdy, folks. Is already got nearly a full panel. Gap already was commenting that he's out in the pasture and he'll be back for the show, referring to what I was saying about Kristi Noem.
Oh.
Because in the thumbnail I said that she was put out to pasture, because she kills dogs.
Right. Did you take your shotgun with you, Gap?
And yeah, he also says Happy Easter. So yes, for anyone who's a Christian watching or anything, Happy Easter. YouTube. Oh, did a notification actually happen on the right time, Elihu?
Yes, it did. You actually went live for pre-show politics. Nice.
Wow.
Shocking.
Yeah, a notification when it actually happens. And speaking of Easter, Elihu, would you mind reading the Easter message that our glorious Commander-in-Chief posted today?
Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There'll be nothing like it. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be Allah. President Donald J. Trump.
Yep. So on Easter Sunday, 2026, apparently our Commander-in-Chief has converted to Islam.
And he's forcing every news anchor to say the word fucking on national television.
And Mrs. Viles in the chat. How you doing, babe? So, one of the things I was going to bring up this week was, the fact that Noem got fired, the fact that Bondi got fired, that it's been
fired a couple weeks ago.
Sorry?
Noem got fired a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently they're hinting very strongly that Caroline Leavitt is also going to be fired.
But they all will eventually, because he doesn't keep anybody. They're pawns, and when they've served their purpose, they go away.
Yeah,
well, Miller's been around the entire time.
It's rumored that Jeanette Pirro is in line to be the next AG.
You mean Judge Boxwine?
Whatever Boxwine, whatever her name is.
And you know that the next person after that will probably be Hegseth, because what he'll do is this doesn't.
It'll be Kavanaugh before Hegseth. Hegseth is doing exactly what Trump wants.
No, because it's no. Because as soon as this debacle just doesn't end, and he doesn't look like he's winning, because this is hurting him.
Oh yeah,
his numbers are tanking with everybody because of this. And the thing is he will blame that on Hegseth. He will go up there in front of people and he will flat out say, I was misinformed. I was told something that didn't happen or something. Like he'll throw Hegseth like not even under the bus. He will make sure that he's ran over by like a freaking herd of elephants, buses. He'll take a whole menagerie over him.
I thought your metaphor was going to be he's not just going to throw him under the bus. He's going to be the one driving it, and he's going to go back and forth a couple of times.
Well, I didn't say he wouldn't. He probably will at the very end of that menagerie of animals and her fleet of buses. He'll have the last one. They'll probably be golden.
Maybe he'll send them out to Kristi Noem's gravel pit.
Maybe. See, I think he should get Kristi Noem around just as the freaking White House executioner. They just take him out and say, all right, well, Pam Bondi's out, and Kristi Noem will just come out on stage when they're, as Trump's talking about how great these people are, and she just lead him out to the back, and then in the middle of his speech, you just hear.
He also mentioned that he'll be having a news conference Monday at 1:00 with military personnel.
Did anybody watch his little?
I don't watch all his speeches, but there is somebody on TikTok that does a recap, and he literally starts it every single time. I wish I could remember his name. I watched it, so you don't have to.
Yeah. I'm sure I've probably already seen it. There's a bunch of them that do stuff like that.
Are you talking about that press conference that he preempted every single station to do for 20 minutes? Yeah, that was an email. Basically, he repeated everything he said on True Social and X. Every single thing he repeated.
People were saying he seemed really out of it.
I wasn't paying attention to listening to the words.
Well, I know
heard it
he
before.
is, but how much longer is it going to be that before they're going to have to, like, you know, put him out to pasture? Like, you know, perhaps literally, I don't know.
How much longer would it be? I'm going to tell you right now. Too long. Too long, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Actually, too long, a year and 3 months ago.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever actually admit it, though. I think they're going to try to do their best to handle him as much as they can.
There is no handling him.
I said as much as they can.
Yeah, but
which is none at all.
His cachet and strength are definitely, like, not just his physical strength, but his, like, his power per se is definitely on the wane. Like, it's he's definitely doesn't, you know, he doesn't carry the cachet he once did.
I think there's a huge hint about how Trump's.
Okay, go ahead, LDG. I'm sorry.
I think there's a huge hint about Trump's health that he's tipping his hand, and because why else would he want to be naming everything he possibly effing can after him?
Well, yeah.
No, that's been his MO since the beginning. He always wants to put his name on things because he wants to leave his mark, I believe.
Yeah, but he's
Trump
also
States, Trump University, Trump Tower, Trump Taj Mahal, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Trump Library, which is going to be a library, which is going to be a hotel.
Targeting freaking, yeah, but yeah, I get that. Everybody wants their name, whatever, yada yada. But I'm talking about freaking now. He's like, you know, the JFK building. His signatures on the dollar bill now. I heard or some shit. He's making his own coin. He's I mean, he's targeting top level freaking last forever things.
He'll take it off as soon as he's gone.
He's got a battleship.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think that's one of the reasons why he wanted his signature on the money. The money is going to be around for quite a while, regardless.
They'll
of whether
stop that circulation. Trust me, they'll start telling banks to pull every one of them because they can do it, and they've done it before. I think they would.
Yeah, but that will just drive up the value of them because then they'll have be scarcity and rarity, and people will be like,
no, I mean, they'll take them out of circulation. And I mean, and again, yeah. So you have one of those. It's money takes years to actually go up.
It happens to the 12.5 cent ticket coin.
They made that one coin illegal to even own.
Dude, there used to be a 12.5 cent coin. Okay, they took it out of circulation.
Hold on. I want to know what LDG is talking about. What coin did they make illegal to own?
There was a $20 gold piece that they made illegal to own, and the government wanted it off the market, off the public, so they made it illegal to own. And there's only one exception. It was on Pawn Stars, where they changed the rule or made the rule an exception for just one coin that someone snuck out, and that's the only legal one, I guess, to own. But the coin was illegal to own. You couldn't trade it, you couldn't sell it, you couldn't have it.
The Treasury can make the rule as they want it gone. I mean, and again,
you could Google
it. Well, and at least you have paper money. It won't last as long. How long does a bill last in circulation? Like a couple of years?
3 to 5 years. That was last time for
yes, because we all went
longer
all our money up here, so that our money lasts like 15 years or something. Like our money can go through the wash and like
it's got plastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I'd never heard about this, despite my numismatist leanings. The reason that's illegal to own LDG is because it was never officially released by the mint. But the coins that are going to be released with the Trump image are going to be released by the mint.
No,
they're not going to be illegal at all.
But that coin is already being said to be commemorative only. But it will be released by the mint.
Yeah,
because no sitting president.
Well, it's supposed to be celebrating our 250th anniversary.
Yes.
That's
I don't know.
It's only supposed to be for a single year anyway. I still don't know what Donald Trump standing behind the desk has to do with our celebrating our God. What's the official term? It's not bicentennial because that was 1976. This is the tricennial.
I don't know. You have to look it up. Anyways, It doesn't have anything to do with it, unless they're trying to show how old he is.
Well, that's the thing
Well,
about Trump. The more you zoom out, the better he looks. I mean, you get close-ups. I mean, you start getting ugly.
Well, I've already seen people selling stamps on Etsy and other similar sites that just says is a pedophile or rapes kids, and it's so you can stamp it next to his signature on each bill. Did I just kill the chat?
I think so.
That would be interesting. I don't think. Well, no. I mean, people have been marking bills for decades, but if something got so popular where you couldn't get a dollar bill that had Trump on there with some, stupid stamp on it from somebody.
Yeah, that's what I said, Gap. I killed the chat.
There's already plans for have a Trump coin, but it's supposed to be commemorative only, not legal tender.
That's what Chris just said, and I said it was that specific one is supposed to be for celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. So, but back to Levitt. I do think that she's going to be let go, I think the excuse is primarily going to be, she says she's pregnant, so they're going to let her go for that reason. I don't necessarily think that this administration is just purging the women from it. It's just by happenstance that, these three have been deemed incompetent by our dear leader. I do think he's a misogynist, but I also think he likes having pretty women say good things about him.
I'm not sure.
Didn't he fire that
Carolyn Leavitt thing? Only because she had only just had her first baby when she became press secretary. Like, she came out of her mat leave to become press secretary. Like, she was still on leave at that point, but she decided she would rather be his press secretary. So I don't know.
Well,
I thought I heard that Susie Wiles has got breast cancer, and that she might be leaving.
Really? So his I think what is her nickname? The human copy machine or something like that?
No, that's not the copy machine lady. That's a different. Susie Wiles is his chief of staff. She's the older lady. She was on his campaign. She was supposed to be trying to keep him more in line, but of course Stephen Miller's been honing in on her territory, so who knows what's going to happen with that.
Okay, I am going to approve. I'm going to approve this message that Gap put in here. I'm approving it. It's funny as shit.
How incompetent do you have to feel to be fired by somebody who's incompetent?
Eric Jr. Okay, bad joke.
Yeah, but she's not technically fired. She's getting transferred. Everyone is just saying the word fired. It's a game.
Yeah, Bondi's the assistant attorney general, not the actual attorney general.
Yes, they're all being moved to the farm upstate where they're going to be nice and happy and get to play in the fields.
They're going to freezer
They're
camp.
fired.
They're not going to freezer camp like the chickens.
Oh my God!
I need more coffee.
See, I think here's the problem. This is exactly how I view this administration. The first time, because of circumstances, because we were all locked up for the fucking belly disease and all that. The first time, it was it's just kind of like that movie that you're like, huh? And you go watch it, and then you're like, okay, I have to watch it again because I'm not sure if I quite got everything. And they just kind of went on, and then you're like, that's kind of comical. This was comical. This was comical. This is like somebody thinks, hey, it made money. Let's make a sequel. Why are we making the sequel? Because we can. This is the horrible movie that comes afterwards.
Well, because I think also what happened was it was pretty bad during COVID, but people were like, well, no, he was good before COVID. He wasn't good before COVID. Things were terrible.
No,
but people like were like, oh, I don't know what people were thinking. They believe the things he says. I don't know why they believe the things he says, but he says things. They're like, of course he's telling the truth, even though he's quite patently and obviously and always not telling the truth.
Yeah, but I think that once people started to throw their hat in, they kind of glued themselves to him to the point where they can't admit.
I think a lot of people this time around just weren't thinking. Like they just were thinking, oh, it's cool and edgy and, anti-establishment to vote for him. And then, they didn't, it's sort of like, people telling kids they shouldn't try cocaine, for example. And then the kids go like, of course they can do that. It's no problem. And then obviously it ain't no problem for 90% of them.
Yeah. So what happens after you try it that matters.
When you hitch your wagon to Trump, you have to know one of two things. Your name better never come up in any conversation or being a part of it. Like you better just be somebody in the back just signing papers or moving papers. Or your career is over. You're not going anywhere else. You're done. And because either he'll ruin your career for you by trashing you, or you will have to follow his idiocy so far that nobody will even take you seriously. And I don't know how in the world any of these people, and again, none of them are worth anything anyways. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. So I'm not sure how they got the job to begin with, but none of them helped their case for any other job other than Kash Patel, Walmart greeter.
Well, when you started saying that, I was thinking about Ted Cruz specifically because he was vehemently against Trump when, back in 2014, 2015, when Trump was re-dipping his toes into the political waters. And then, to the point where Trump was insulting Ted Cruz's wife, calling her fat, calling her ugly, calling her, pathetic and all that kind of stuff. And now Ted Cruz is one of his most staunch supporters, at least within Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because
Trump too.
Sorry, say that again.
I say Lindsey Graham was railing against Trump as well.
And now J.D. Vance even said he's a never Trumper.
His lips stuck so firmly to Trump's ass, like.
And I think what they realized was the Republican Party.
They're all opportunists.
Well, what I think is the Republican Party in general, at least the rank and file type people, were more inclined to listen to someone like Trump because he said the things they wanted to hear. He was open about his misogyny, about his racism. Not to the point where he would actually say, oh, I hate black people on live television, but more of, he said the things that they knew were talking points for racism in general. Like, the SAVE Act. That's entirely a point meant to disenfranchise immigrant, minority, and female voters. And that's something the Republican Party is definitely for. So, because he's like, well, I'll give you guys support if you do this, but I'm also going to want my ballroom. I'm going to want my name on the Kennedy Center.
Oh, by the way,
he doesn't ask them for the Kennedy Center thing. He fired everybody on the board and had them do it, which again, that's another thing that'll go by as soon as he's gone.
But I do think it's going to be. Go ahead.
Trump basically promised the United States people that no taxpayer dollars will be used for the ballroom. I think it was Thursday evening or Friday morning, he submitted a proposal to Congress to ask for $375 million to renovate the White House.
Okay.
This is a little sus. As General says, this is sus. $375 million to do the renovate the White House when it's $400 million for the ballroom, and not one penny has been accountable for that yet.
Well, again, I think that it sounds suspicious, but people are going to say, well, Obama spent $350 million making a basketball court. I've literally seen that same argument, even though if you look even, slightly below the surface, you'll realize that, it was $350 million was not spent on a friggin' basketball court. It was the entire upgrades to the entire White House.
It's about $300 for a roll-in basketball net. That was it.
And you have to, you have to understand that Trump, it's going to cost a lot of money to get all that gold leaf to make the White House the Gold House.
Also, don't forget how much it costs him to go golfing every time, because he charges like inflated rates for
Secret
Service, and he charges for the golf carts for the Secret Service, even though it's at his own golf course. So he's always like, "Oh, I'm not taking a paycheck," but it costs like $2 million every time he goes frickin' golfing at his own golf course.
Every time he stays or transfers at a Trump property, he charges Secret Service rooms.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, when every time he'd stay in his own hotels, it required that the Secret Service install bulletproof windows in his hotel in New York, and that was several $1 million of taxpayer money.
That.
So, but at least if you're staying in his hotel, you got bulletproof windows. That's a good thing, right?
I guess. If the zombie apocalypse comes.
So I figured I would look up, just because you brought up the golf trips. In the first year of his second term, Trump had 88 golf trips. So if you want to think about 365 days in a year, that means, assuming that he only golfs once per day, that's what, almost a quarter of not a quarter, just under a quarter of the year that he spent golfing. So let's see.
I mean, that's just, and again, like you said, the inflated rates he puts up. Again, it should not be allowed, because he considers it a residence of his own. He should not be allowed to go there and do those things, or it should be free because it's your residency.
Well, again, they would point out the fact that, Biden went to his home almost every weekend while in office. Granted, his home was not as extravagant as Mar-a-Lago, but he still did that almost every single weekend. And let's see.
Well, fine. You got to go look at the numbers then, which cost more.
Oh, by far, it's the golf trips. I think it was.
That's the thing. I think that they should. Go ahead. Okay.
No, when I was looking it up, apparently, for the first year of this second term, the golf trips are assumed to have cost the taxpayers $100 million.
I need to, Jillo, to be right back.
And then, the thing of that is, I think if you're going to do those trips, I remember when, I think Bush Jr. was the first one to really start going like back to his ranch and other things like that, more than like Camp David. But I remember there was a time when Camp David was about it. The president wanted to take a vacation and went to Camp David. And I would almost champion that cause again and say, listen, if you want to play golf, we'll find a golf course, and that's where we're going. But if it's your own personal place, then it should be on your own personal dime. And if you expect and if you're president, you don't get a chance, you don't get a choice to expect it or not. But if you go there while you're president to your own personal residency or your own personal golf course, anything like that, then one of two things happens. They incur no charges to the American taxpayer, or you have to pay it. And it's just a bill that you're handed when you leave. Here you go. You have to pay this.
I think the issue partly.
Hold on, I'm going to mute myself because there's an ambulance going by.
I think part of the problem is like that he's basically defying the emoluments clause, right? Like he's not supposed to profit from the presidency.
Exactly.
You have your paycheck from the doing it, but you're not supposed to be making money. And because he was never divested from his like businesses, including Mar-a-Lago, which is a business, he never divested from that. And so he's using it to make money. Like this is the whole thing. He never divested. His stuff didn't go into a blind trust at the very least. Like if you want to be president, there should be absolutely, I mean, what the heck? Made Jimmy Carter sell a fucking peanut farm? Like ridiculous. Oh, great. Now you guys are all muted and I'm supposed to entertain.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the thing. It's if you do those things, yeah, I mean, and again, I think that this is grounds that, again, if the Democrats take over Congress, these are grounds that they can bring up to impeach him.
Yeah, but even the first time he was doing all this stuff then as well, right? So,
but again, you didn't have
the ability to enforce this emolument clause, or even the thing where people like release their taxes and provide like their actual like health,
yes, again, again,
none of this stuff is actually like people are like, because it's like there's no enforcement capacity behind it, right? There's no way there doesn't seem to be any way to enforce this stuff.
Well, there is ways to enforce it. The problem is the branch of the government that is meant to enforce the laws is the executive branch.
Exactly. And also, again, Congress could bring it up and do something about it, but none of them want to.
Yeah.
Well, none of the people that can, the side that could do something doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I guess it's that. It just seems very frustrating.
I wouldn't be surprised again if you really want to go down a hole on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if some of his closest confidants in Congress are profit sharing from this.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
You mean like his son-in-law who has a drone company that's actually made some money?
I said, yeah, there's that. They're fighting for contracts in another country though, and then not that. I'm talking about people in Congress who could do something. Aren't doing anything because they're making money off of it.
Have you seen what's the betting website where you can bet on damn near anything? Where the one, sorry,
Polymarket.
That's one of them, but there's another one I can't remember the name of. Yes, thank you. That's the one that Arizona's suing right now. But one of the things I was seeing was, would we strike Iran? And there were several accounts that made a boatload of money by predicting that Trump would attack Iran quite literally minutes before he attacked Iran. So I would definitely believe that these people are profiting any way they can off of this administration. And they're using, any method possible that they can while trying to avoid the emoluments clause as much as possible, but also not really giving a shit because they're in control of the department that's designed to actually enforce that law. So it's like they want to
matter.
Yeah, they want to make it look like they're being legal on the surface to the casual observer.
And again, this is all stuff that could be used. I mean, they could go as far as doing a racketeering charge against Trump and a bunch of Congress people, possibly even a few justices, if they could lump it all together, right? And they could use that as grounds for impeachment. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's all sorts of things you can get on this. And I think he's taking what he can right now because he's probably pretty sure that even if he makes it through this term, that they're already lining up to how they can charge him.
Well, let's go ahead and change the subject entirely to the other side, or the other topic, because basically I just wanted to talk more about the war in Iran. I did read, apparently we did recover the other pilot that was shot down over the weekend.
Yes. The navigator.
Okay. I don't
He
know
was the
much about it. I just saw one of the tweets about it. Eliu, can you go into more detail?
Yeah, the pilot was recovered. The only person who was missing was a navigator, who was considered the most important person because he has the plans and the maps. The guy was allegedly hidden between with some locals who was trying to protect a guy from the army. Allegedly, this is what I'm saying. Allegedly, the U.S. and Iran army had a huge battle to try to rescue the guy. According to the administration, no U.S. soldiers had lost their life during this rescue operation. This is according to U.S. government. No U.S. soldier lost their life during the rescue operation. They successfully rescued the person, the navigator. This is the update that I have so far. Of course, I have to make my own little opinion. Trump says we never leave anybody behind, but yet he still called fucking John McCain a loser because he got caught. I decided to have my own little personal opinion. Sorry, man. I respect McCain. I respect that man.
I respected some of what he did, not everything, but
Yeah,
I think
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, much more than other people in that party. Now, considering his Easter message, one person, or at least several of the things that I saw about it, think that he might be referring to using nuclear weapons. Do you think it's likely that he would actually do so, especially in light with the fact that he just fired a bunch of his 4-star generals?
That is highly unlikely that he would actually.
If he does, he's an idiot. But that'd be par for the course.
He has always spoken out pretty strongly against nuclear.
Well, okay, she no longer works for the UN anymore, but a friend of mine who was worked as a translator for the German ambassador to the UN, one of the times she was in the States, we were talking about Trump, and this was before he got elected the first time, so take everything with a huge grain of salt. And of course, I'm also telling this from a third hand. I'm telling it from third hand, so also another very large piece of salt. Before he got elected, the German ambassador was like, "What are your plans on dealing with China?" And he got two, different responses from the Clinton side and the Trump side. And the Clintons apparently sent over like several binders with several ideas and contingency plans and everything about how they wanted to deal with China. Whereas Trump's thing was a single piece of paper saying, "We're going to remind them how many nukes we have."
Oh, jeez. Nice.
So again, third hand, and it was before he was elected the first time. Take, large grains of salt with those. So I think that he's always been very adamant about the potential of using nuclear weapons.
I really hope honest to God, at this point, the only thing your country can do is just take the man and hand him over to The Hague. Like, I know you guys aren't part of that, but that's what you should actually happen. You should just impeach the man and hand him over to The Hague. That's the only way the U.S. is actually going to get some respect back in this world. Like,
technically, people are saying this could be constituted as a war crime, and some people are saying this cannot be because every single sitting member of Congress has said this is a military action conflict, not a war, which means they cannot constitute it as a war crime. But the leader has said this is a war multiple times. So technically, he can be held accountable for a war crime.
Well,
his own word said war.
Hold on. I would go into what the Hague and the UN actually classifies as a war. As far as I understand it, just because you're not at war does not mean you can't be convicted of war crimes. Just look at the what was his name in Africa who was tried under war crimes?
Which was Bali?
Was it him? I can't remember. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember his name.
Oh, wait a minute, 10 years ago. Sorry.
Remember. I know who you mean, though.
Okay, so
Was that the Somalian one or something like that?
It may have been. As I said, I'm trying to remember details from a news article I read once 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, his country was technically not at war. It was a civil conflict, but no one ever declared war. But he did kill a large portion of his opposition within his country, and he was tried for war crimes and found guilty. So I think it would depend on how much the world is willing to step on the US in that regard. I mean, the US is still the dominant superpower in the on the planet, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be like, well, we need to punish the most powerful man in the world.
Well, I think a lot of people are like, yeah, we do need to punish the most powerful man in the world, and then we need to not have most powerful men in the world anymore.
I would kind of agree with you on that point. But yeah.
San
What
Diego
else
City
was there?
Council passes a non-binding resolution adopting the IHRA working definitions of anti-Semitism to align with the state of Israel. Wow.
Wait, did you say San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego City Council.
Fuck my city council. They've been fucking up way too much lately, and they're already pissing me off.
Basically, they summed up. I'll sum up with a little legislation they passed. If you say anything that's against Israel's policy, that's anti-Semitism. This is what they did.
Sorry.
San Diego, it just came across my feed, man. You're San Diego. I have to let you know.
I will say this: the current San Diego City Council has been doing a lot of shit that's pissing people off here, like trying to install parking meters at our parks and beaches. They kind of reversed it a little bit, saying, "Well, we're not going to charge city residents the parking fees anymore on city beaches and parks." The problem is only like 2/3 of our population of San Diego County are city residents. Everyone else is a county resident. Not to mention the fact that, a large chunk of our budget for everything comes from our tourism dollars. You start nickel and diming our tourists, they're not going to come here anymore.
You mean like Alcatraz being shut down to turn into a national prison, which will lose about $4 to $6 million a year in tourism to San Francisco? You mean like that?
Oh yeah, that sounds like great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about $4 to $6 million a year the city of San Francisco will lose if Alcatraz reopens as an actual prison.
Which I don't think it can. Doesn't it have to be completely like renovated?
It does. And basically, the whole entire building has to be knocked down and rebuilt.
Oh.
But how about some good news? How about some good news? Artemis 2.
Well, we'll devote the last 5 minutes to that. Anything else anyone wants to talk about the Iranian war right now?
I do have I didn't have much of a chucklehead of the week this week, but I did have a little moment of laughing.
Okay.
It was at CPAC. I don't even know if this might have been last week. I'm not sure. But I think it was that Schlapp dude. I'm not sure. Somebody was up there like rallying the tiny crowd. And he said something to the effect of, "Do we want them to start impeachment?" And everybody cheered yes.
Oh yeah, wrong answer.
That was the wrong
funny.
answer. Oh my God, I laughed so hard.
Yeah, I did see that particular one. I also thought it was funny when I think her name's Chelsea. She went to the CPAC, created a fake Grindr account, and started instantly getting messages from Trump supporters in the area about down low sex stuff. And she used an AI created image. Like she uploaded a picture of herself and said, "Make me into a man." And that's what she used. And she was she was posting these chat logs. And I thought that was kind of funny because it wasn't just like one or two. We're talking like dozens. And from some politicians.
Yep.
So, but all right, for the last 5 minutes, or at least 5 to 10 minutes, Elihu, let's talk about Artemis 2. This technically falls under a news podcast, so, and we can talk more about it on CNA because it's space related.
Yay, space! I love space. Give me. I don't have enough of it though, but still. Okay, Artemis 2 is currently traveling at 22,000 miles an hour. They are officially at 22,000.1 kilometers away from the moon, and they are expected to get the closest flyby in 7 hours and 52 minutes.
All right. I would also point out that unlike the Saturn V and the old Apollo, they aren't just doing like going straight to the moon and going into orbit around the moon. They're doing this weird, more energy conservative loop-de-loop course in order to get to the moon. So they're actually traveling much further distance at a much lower rate of speed than Apollo ever did.
Yeah, they'll be going about 60 to 80,000 miles further than Apollo 13 did when they went around.
Because I've had some people like, well, if we're so much more advanced, why is it taking them longer, and why are they traveling more in order to get to the moon if the moon is the same distance away? And it's like, well, they're trying to save gas. They're essentially trying to do it in such a way where they don't have to travel as fast or use as much fuel to get to the moon. So it does take longer, but and they're actually traveling further, but they're going to get to the same place for less money. That's the whole point of their course. I wish I could show an image of it, but I'm on the phone and I can't show stuff on the phone. But if Elihu wants to share it, I'll show it. If you look at the side by side, like the path that the Apollo took and the path that Artemis is taking, it's funny as all hell because it looks like one is just a straight line and the other one is like Mickey Mouse ears. And the comments, since we're on the political side of this, the comments that I've read about the Artemis 2 mission some of them are just absolutely horrendous. I mean, so many people are complaining that there's a woman on the crew and there's a black guy on the crew and there's a Canadian on the crew. Apparently those three things are so over the top woke and everything. It's like, how dare they send those people? Why can't they just send a 3-person white guy crew again? And it's like, what?
What you got to realize that when Mike Pence announced the first astronaut crew to go to the moon, all four of those first astronauts above the Artemis 2 was not part of the original class. Everybody else washed out, by the way. Yeah, well, I know they can wash out. These are the people.
Well, there's also backups and stuff. I will say that.
Yeah, these are the people who actually excelled in the class. Okay, this is why they made it.
Well, to go back to the course that I was talking about, how the Artemis course looks like it's going around and around a bit before it gets to the moon. One guy literally posted something on Twitter about that, saying, "This is what happens when you have a DEI black guy as the pilot instead of a white guy." And he shows the course showed, and I'm like, that's how far they're willing to go when it comes to this to justify their racism.
Oh my!
Even though it was explained beforehand that course is meant to, no matter who was piloting, the course was meant to do that to save gas.
I put a little funny image on Chris's message. I gave Chris a message and like, I'm looking at the NASA feed, and I did not expect to see this on my feed whatsoever. Christian's in his underwear, clipping his toenails right in space. I'm like, nothing but his underwear. Like, what the fuck, dude? Come on! I was not expecting to see this dude half naked in space.
I'm sorry.
Shit.
I'm sorry. If I was a member of that crew, I'd be pissed. It's bad enough watching people do that on airplanes. I couldn't imagine doing it in 0G.
Okay, hang on. They're in space for what? 10 days? This is a 10-day trip, right?
Yes.
Why didn't you trim your toenails before you left? Like, do toenails grow extra fast in space? Like, dude, get your shit together before you go. Not
It was
me.
I gave it to Chris. I'll give it to you. Hang on a second. Let me get that image here.
I don't think I can show it unless you share it.
Oh, I can't share it, but I'll send it to you. Don't worry.
Ugh.
All right.
I don't want to see someone clipping their toenails anyway.
I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Come on.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, you would do that before you left. Like, honestly.
Yeah, as I said, I've seen people on airplanes do it, and it pissed me off.
Well, he's already famous because of the official NASA photo. I mean, Dr. Lee Melvin had his dogs. Christian has his whole entire family. I'm like, okay, that's your Christmas card. Hey, he took his official NASA photo with his family. Not by himself, but with his family, which is pretty fucking cool.
So, when do they actually make lunar orbit, Elihu?
7 hours.
Okay. And how many orbits are they actually going to make? Do you know?
One.
Just one?
One orbit. They are going to be looking and taking some high-def photos of Apollo 11, Apollo 13, sorry, Apollo 11, Apollo 14, a couple different craters, and they were supposed to get a new high-rise video of Earthrise.
Well, the Earthrise photo is going to be, I can already predict that's going to be an awesome photo, considering they just did the blue marble, homage that you pointed out in your Twitter feed, because you're like, this actually features two planets.
Yeah, Venus photobombed us. Everybody's like, what's the little star? Okay, you got a star. No, that is Venus. It's called Hello Earth or Hello.
Because of the exposures, stars wouldn't show up.
Yeah, they got the actual exposures, like a couple different constellations you can point out. But I saw that little dot. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is that? I went on my sites. I'm like, oh, that's Venus. Holy shit.
So, anything else you guys want to bring up before I end the stream?
7 hours, 45 minutes until closest approach to the moon.
I have nothing more. Just
Chris, LDG, since you guys
I mean,
muted.
they should be orbiting the moon when Chris's stream starts.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, Leave It's got to go. I already said my trio. So 2 out of my trio have been gone. She's the last one on my list, and that'll be very happy because she's. I am not liking her. I don't like how she sounds, what she says, and she chooses to lead the American people and how she presents the president. So very aggravating. It's got to go. Go have your baby. Relax. Let somebody else have a shot at being better. And that's it. There we go. Peace said.
Sorry, I also want to mention one other thing, Mike.
Okay, go ahead.
Last year, Republicans were complaining about loans, about colleges. They say you don't need to go to college. A good trade school is just good enough. Well, Trump just had his budget proposal, and it's eliminated the entire Job Corps program. That's a trade school for youth.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I thought that was. Actually, you may have been the one who reposted it that I saw.
Yeah, I used to work at Job Corps.
So, yeah, the whole point that helps people get jobs after going to trade schools. It kind of defeats the purpose of going to a trade school unless that university or college actually has connections into helping you get job placement.
Well, most of them do nowadays. But still, it's a ridiculous thing doing that.
Most of them do. There's a welding school here in San Diego, but unfortunately, like the school here only has job placement programs within the county of San Diego. All their ties aren't related to anything within the rest of the state of California, the country, or the globe. Whereas Job Corps was nationwide. I can't say that applies to any other trade schools. I just know that one specifically because I very nearly attended that school when I didn't get into the military after high school.
There are several thousand kids on Treasure Island in Job Corps right now. They
can't waste billions of dollars blowing up other countries if they're paying for stuff for people in your own country.
I know. Elijah, did you actually look up to add or to do the math on those budget cuts that specifically are being proposed or enacted? Whether they add up to the 1.5 trillion that he's trying to add to the military budget?
It adds up to about 350 billion.
Yeah, I didn't think it actually added up to the 1.5 trillion. So that would just be another trillion to add to the frickin' national debt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the man already pulled up your debt more than any other president last time. Why would it be different this time?
I need to mix more coffee before the CNA stream starts.
I need to put more alcohol in my coffee before the CNA stream starts. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Okay. So be ready in about.
What are we talking about?
I'm already over there since that was the first link.
I'll stop whining, LDJ.
I gotta make.
What are we talking about?
Well, basically on the CNA, I've been binge watching The Walking Dead, so I thought we'd talk about what we'd do on during a zombie apocalypse.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Okay.
And we were going to talk
Give me a minute, I'll be over there.
Earthers, right? We were going to talk about flat earthers a little bit on account of the Artemis mission.
No, I think flat earthers are a little too political. We could still talk about the Artemis, but I wouldn't talk about flat Earth just because that leans political.
You know what's funny? Hey, I'll say one last thing. Thank you for saying that, because I think I just invented a phrase, not invented a phrase, but I used to think that you would never see a YouTube video about sovereign citizens winning. That would never be a title, right? Ever. The second title that will never happen: Flat Earth astronaut.
Yes.
One astronaut that's a flat earther. Just give us one. Give us one, and that would be late breaking news.
Hold on, LDG. There was that one guy who tried to build his own rocket to prove the flat Earth.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's false. He was doing that because they gave him money. He was not a flat earther. He would take money from anybody, and it happened to be the flat earthers. He did not start that.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I'll be over there. I'll be a little bit late, but I'll be over there.
See you soon, guys.
I'm making some coffee.
Now, if I was